Hey, eighth graders. This is your Zoom meeting for Wednesday, November the 4th, and for my class that's on Thursday, November the 5th. So, as always, guys, make sure you go in there, go ahead and hit that attendance, do your attendance, and do your bell ringer. So, go ahead and pause this right now, get into Canvas, and go ahead and take care of those right now. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and get in and review what our lesson is for today. And as we're pulling this up, remember that today's supporting question that you will hopefully be able to answer by the end of today is what types or forms of government exist around the world? So we're going to go ahead and start this presentation. So we're going to have a quick review. We're going to talk about our bell ringer, and then we're going to introduce the types of governments and who rules. And then there is a quiz as your assessment for today. All right. So here we go. So your bell ringer today. What type of government does the United States of America have today? So that's the answer that you should be putting in. So make sure that that's in your bell ringer. And let's hope that you guys all know what that answer is. So our dad joke of the day. What do you call a farmer, or what do you call a farm that makes bad jokes? Corny. There you go. Just like all these dad jokes, they're supposed to be. That's what we call them, dad jokes. Our quick review. When America declared independence in 1776, they assumed the right to govern themselves. That was one of the things that they decided they were going to do, that they did not need to be governed by the King of England, that they could do it on their own. What type of government should they create? That's one of the things that they talk about, and we're going to learn that the first government they created didn't actually work. They had to go to Plan B. How much power will the government have? There was a lot of discussion, and we're going to learn about the Federalists and Anti-Federalists that talked about the type of power that our government, specifically our central or federal government, should have. And today we will identify the major forms of government that exist today, compare and contrast major features from these different forms of government, and look at examples from current governments around the world. So this was actually something that we did, and you can see that this is actually in our module right here. So you can jump into this Jamboard, and you can see what we did. We're basically, the kids just listed, your classmates just went on here and they listed types of governments, and we've already gone ahead and erased them, but they would have put like monarchy and oligarchies and dictatorships, tyrants, democracy, kings, monarchy, just because you had governments and leaders there. So that would have been right there. Let me see if we put it. We didn't save it on those other pages, which I guess I could have done. So back to our presentation. So we just made a list of the different types of governments that we had. So who rules? So there is a reading here, and in class we read through this together, but here's what you need to do. You need to read through. It's just a short little reading. It's a 2-page reading. You can get to it by clicking here. You can also get to it in the module here as well. So you can either click it from the presentation right there, or in the module right here under who rules, okay? So this is a very short reading overall. It's just these 2 pages. Just read through it really quickly and learn about these different forms of government, okay? And then also learn about a type of government that actually is the lack of government right down here. And then they'll ask you this question, where would you put theocracy on the chart? And just think about, after you learn about what a theocracy is, where it would fall on this chart. All right, so that's your reading. Now, there's a little video here. You can just watch that on your own. And then we just tested our knowledge. So we were going to read through the description of present day countries and their governments. And we are actually going to go and skip that part of it. You can do that on your own. It's a good review, but then you decide on the type of government they would have had. And I'll give you just one example. So here it says, Saudi Arabia led by a king. The king appoints a council of ministers to help govern, but there are no elections. So there aren't any type of elections there. Saudi Arabia's basic laws state that the country's constitution is the Islamic holy book, the Quran, and other religious teachings. So, what types of government would this be? Well, you'd probably say that it could be possibly a theocracy because it talks about that their constitution is based off a holy book. And the fact that it says king here would be, my guess is it's a monarchy. So there's your monarchy, and then there's your theocracy. So you're just going to take context clues to figure out what these governments are. This is a really good review because you are going to need to know this for your test at the end of this unit. You're going to need to know these different forms of government. So all you're going to do in the presentation is you're just going to work through and get through all those things. Okay, so when you get through the presentation, you will have an assignment. There is a quiz for you to do. So you're going to identify the types of governments, and you're going to get to that through your module right here. This is an assessment. It's a 20-point assessment. So you do need to go ahead and get this done and do it well. You can use your reading, okay? You can use your presentation to help you get the right answers on this. This was not meant to trick you. This was meant for you just to test your knowledge of your reading. So make sure you use your reading. Make sure you use your presentation to do the best job you can. So you just click on the quiz and it'll pull it up and you just preview the quiz. Or actually for you guys, you will take the quiz and you can see it's just 2 answers each time and you're just identifying and finding the right answer. Use your reading to do that. So if you guys have any questions, as always, come here to the inbox, reach out to me and ask me any questions that you would have. Otherwise, I will see you guys at the next class.